Some seasons of motherhood are just heavy, and somehow we have to show up for ourselves, for our home, for our marriage, and for our kids. I've been in a season like that recently, and that's why I want to share with you 5 habits that I have that keep me grounded and keep me showing up no matter the stress and season that I'm in. So, you're stressed, I'm stressed, we got stuff to do, so let's jump right into it. First things first, we have to say this out loud. Motherhood is hard. It's supposed to be like that. We need to accept that it's hard. And if you are having a hard time and you're stressed, you feel overwhelmed, you have any negative feelings towards it, I just want to say that's normal. It's okay, but it's what we do with it and it's how we grow from it that really matters. And so having these feelings does not make you a bad mom. It makes you a mom who wants to grow and be better. Okay, first habit. We need to slow down. If we're stressed and anxious, we need to put the schedule aside and just literally relax and slow down. I'm not saying a day at the spa because that's not realistic. I'm saying a day playing with our kids where the time of day does not matter. We are just going slow and enjoying ourselves and the time that we have with our family because it's precious and we can make the most out of it if we're truly trying to be present. And when you take your schedule out of it, you probably have more time for yourself. During nap time, skip the chores. Take on some of your favorite relaxation activities. Honestly, just slowing down is so important. And there's not really anywhere that we need to be. And if our schedule's full, maybe it needs to become less full permanently. My second habit that I strive for every single day, but it helps me, especially when I'm stressed, but it's also the reason that I am stressed, and that's my phone. Okay. I strive and try so hard to put my phone down. When I'm not stimulating myself with my phone, I find so much more joy in the stimulation my child and my life is giving me. So put your phone down, separate yourself from it, stop scrolling, stop calling and making appointments, stop checking your calendar, whatever it is, put your phone down. If you are worried about it and you need to check your phone, because I'm not going to lie, sometimes like, did I get a message? Like that causes a little bit of anxiety in myself, which is totally how society has wired us, which I want to overcome that in the first place. But if that's something you struggle with, I like to make it on the hour or in a specific time frame that's reasonable. I check my phone. That way I'm not checking on it every 3 seconds. I'm not worried about who called, who texted, what I have to do. I'm again forcing myself to be present and just be stimulated by the beautiful family and world around me. And it honestly takes away so much of that stress and overwhelm when I'm not constantly feeding myself something from my phone and from my child. It is life changing and it's this small, simple habit. So you can do it. My third habit, this might not be for everyone, but I'm going to talk about it, and it's prayer. I rely on prayer because I rely on God. And when I'm feeling stressed and anxious, and maybe it's my own doing, maybe it's just because of the outside forces, prayer always helps and grounds me. It reminds me that someone is watching over me, someone cares and has a greater plan than I do. That's God. And I'm not alone. And prayer is honestly just a life changer. And honestly, my toddler is the one who reminds me to pray every day. He's obsessed with praying, which is a great problem to have. And it is a world of difference when I pray at the beginning of my day, in the middle of my day, at my meals, whenever you pray, because it will help ground you. It will help remind you that your problems are honestly finite compared to the infinite love and life that God has planned for us. This is my fourth habit, and that's mindfulness, journaling, and meditation. Any of those three things help me to stay grounded. Again, I honestly think the root of all of my habits is reducing the stimulation of like other things, whether it's my own brain, my phone, the world, so I can just focus on my children. Ironic, honestly, that we get stressed out and overwhelmed by the thing that we're supposed to be focused on, and we get stressed out and overwhelmed because we're focusing on too many things that's not just them. I hope that makes sense to you, but I just had an aha moment. Like, I see the connection here. Anyways, if you're stressed and anxious, like I am frequently, journaling and mindfulness is so good to just get out all of your thoughts, to get rid of your thoughts, to pause them for a second with mindfulness and focusing on the calm presence that can surround us. And journaling just helps me get it all out there, write it down. Things I want to remember, things I'm learning, things I'm hating, things I'm loving. It honestly just helps me focus on something other than how I'm feeling. And most of the time it turns into gratitude. As I journal about how much I love my son and how much I like am grateful that I get to stay home with them even though it's hard, my perspective shifts because I'm focusing on something else. And that's the beauty of mindfulness and journaling, that it shifts our perspective to what we want it to. If we focus on the good, we're going to see the good. And if we're focusing on our stress and anxiety, it's going to consume us. But we can choose to have gratitude and joy consume us just as easily. Final and last habit is leaning on your support system. Maybe that's your extended family, maybe that's a friend, but for me, that's my husband. Leaning on my husband is it's hard sometimes because I feel like because he's out in the workforce working for us, I feel like I need to deal with everything else on my own. And he doesn't make me feel that way, but sometimes I make myself feel that way, that like that's your job and this is my job. And when I let that go and lean on him and allow myself to be a partner with him and let him help and talk to him about what I'm struggling with, life is just so much easier. It doesn't even matter if the problem is actually solved, which I don't. When I'm stressed and anxious, the problem sometimes isn't even a physical problem. It's an abstract problem that may or may not even exist. Just, that's just how kind of anxiety and stress works sometimes. And just relying on my husband to be there for me and allowing him to do so, it's life changing and it strengthens me. It strengthens him and it strengthens our marriage, which ultimately welds and strengthens our family more and more, which is exactly what we need in those stressful and anxious seasons. You're here because you care. You don't want to feel stressed and anxious and you don't want it to affect your family. And that is just an exact evidence that you are a good mom, you are a good wife, and building a good, happy, healthy home and life for yourself, for your spouse, and for your children is hard. You are on the right path and you can do it and you are doing it. I just want to put a plug in here that beyond managing the everyday stress and anxiety of motherhood, don't forget to reach out to your medical provider if it's something that isn't going away, is something that's really debilitating you, whether that's, managing your anxiety through counseling or medication or whatever you need to. Do not shy away from that because God has given us modern medicine for a reason and we should use it to help improve ourselves and our family. These small habits that we have every day, they shape who we become and what we do. So we need to make sure those small habits are rooted in good, grounding things rather than stimulated, overwhelming, growth stopping things. And I think a lot of my small habits, when I try to relax, do the opposite. And that's why these 5 habits really ground me and they give me something to turn back to. And I'm not good at them all the time, but I know when I am, those small things, that 1% compounds, and I am better that day. I'm better the next day. And that's just how habits work. So push forward, do the small things because you can do it and you're doing a great job.